Hello everyone, myself Dr. Ravi Keshri. In the previous section, I have discussed the spinal cord, the ganglia, the gray matter and the white matter of the spinal cord. And today I will discuss the very important concept, that is the spinal nerve. Spinal nerve. The spinal nerve, which is the part of the peripheral nervous system, and there are the 31 pairs of spinal nerve, What are the 31 pairs? The 8 pairs cervical, the 12 pairs of the thoracic, the 5 pairs are the lumbar, the 5 pairs are the sacral, and the 1 pairs are the coccygeal nerve. Thus there are the 31 pairs of the spinal nerves and the 12 pairs are the of cranial nerve. 31 pairs of the cranial nerve. And how this spinal nerve it is formed? This spinal nerve, it is the mixed nerve. It means there is the motor component and also the sensory component. The motor component and the sensory component of the spinal nerve. And before this spinal nerve is the peripheral nerve. The spinal nerve has the peripheral nerve, and this peripheral nerve has this spinal nerve, which is the 31 pair. It is the peripheral nerve, and it is the mixed nerve. Now this peripheral nerve, what is peripheral nerve? It is a mixed nerve. What is the peripheral nerve? It is the mixed nerve. It means it has the sensory component and also the motor component. It means it contain both the afferent, two terms. There is the afferent, it is also called the sensory, and efferent, that is the motor. Afferent, that is the sensory, and efferent, that is the motor fibers. What are the two terms? One is the afferent and second is the efferent. Afferent and the efferent. Afferent, that is the sensory. Efferent, that is the motor fiber. Motor means it supply the which muscles? Skeletal muscles. And this skeletal muscle, it is the that is helps in the contraction of this skeletal muscles. It means the peripheral nerve consists of the two fibers, afferent and the efferent fibers. Afferent, it is the sensory, and efferent, it is the motor fibers. Then what is the efferent fiber? We will discuss the efferent fiber. What is the efferent fiber? The fiber which carry the fibers which carry क्या carry करेगा? Impulses, which carry impulses from the CNS, that is the central nervous system, to various part of the body, to various part of the body, that is called efferent fiber, that is called efferent fiber. And what is the afferent fiber? What is the afferent? That is the sensory fiber, which carries sensory impulses from the various parts of the body, just like the skin and deeper structure, to the central nervous system. It means which carry the impulses, from various parts of the body, just like the skin, to the central nervous system. That is called the afferent or sensory fibers. Afferent or sensory fibers. If we can see in this diagram the afferent fiber and the sensory fiber. Afferent fiber and the sensory fiber. Here is the transverse section of the spinal cord. This is the central canal of the spinal cord. This is the central canal of the spinal cord. And here is the two fibers are present. One is the sensory fiber and second is the motor fiber. Second is the motor fiber or efferent fiber and the sensory fiber. And in the periphery, the skin is present, the skeletal muscles are present. From the skin, the afferent fibers goes towards the dorsal root ganglion, which is the sensory ganglion, and from the dorsal root ganglions towards the sensory neurons, which are present in the anterior horn cells of the spinal cord. And from this spinal cord, the nerve impulse goes towards the higher center of the brain, that is the cerebrum. This is the sensory impulse from the skin toward the central nervous system. And a motor impulse, which carry impulses from the motor neuron of the spinal cord. Here is the motor neurons of the spinal cord. Then this motor fiber goes towards the skeletal muscles. From the spinal cord towards the periphery, that is the skeletal muscles. That is the afferent fiber. Sometimes impulses are carried from the central nervous system towards the peripheral nervous system, or sometimes impulses are carried in case of the emergency at the level of the spinal cord. These are the afferent fiber and the efferent fibers. Now I will discuss that the spinal cord is the spinal nerve, which is of 31 pair of spinal nerve. And now each spinal cord, suppose this is the spinal cord, and from the spinal cord, ventral root and the dorsal root are come out. Ventral root and the dorsal root. These ventral and dorsal root are come out from the spinal cord and they join to form the spinal nerve. Then there is the formation of the spinal nerve. This is the ventral root, dorsal root, and this is the